happened again, and in Florida again. Well, here's the news, and hold on to your seat. 30,000 convicted felons are reportedly registered to vote in Florida, even though in Florida they do not have that right. And there is more. The name Mickey Mouse has infamously been entered on a voter registration form by Acorn. Heard enough? Does Florida have big problems brewing? Joining us live is the Attorney General of Florida, Bill McCollum. Welcome, sir.
Good to be with you, Greta.
All right, so what's the story? Do you have voting problems or anticipate them between now and November 4th?
Well, I don't think we're going to have serious ones that we can see at this point that I'm aware of, but I do know that there have been some complaints. There have been a few about voter registration fraud that's occurred in our state, a handful, but those are under investigation now by our Florida Department of Law Enforcement and by local officials and by our Secretary of State, but nobody believes this is widespread. In the case of the felons that are on the books that you referred to a minute ago, that's a report in one of our newspapers. Our Secretary of State reported to us this past week, and I spoke with him personally about it, that there is a meticulous process he goes through to try to erase all of the felons from being eligible to vote, because they're not eligible, obviously, unless they've had their civil rights restored. And the presumption under Florida law, Greta, is that each person who's registered to vote is eligible until proven otherwise. So I'm not at all sure that the 30,000 figure is accurate, but it's quite possible that there are several thousand, perhaps convicted sometime before or after, I should say, that they were registered to vote, or perhaps they haven't been removed properly since they've been convicted, and our system simply hasn't caught them.
All right, let's take a couple of those things you said. First of all, that he's going to erase them. Why hasn't he done that already? We're 2 weeks out.
Well, there's a matching process that goes on when the registration rolls are sent over to the Secretary of State, who is appointed by our governor now in Florida. That Secretary of State has the responsibility of checking it out to find out if somebody is a convicted felon or not. And I understand that the process goes through our Florida Department of Law Enforcement to match up with any felons on their records.
I got that, but we're 2 weeks out. I mean, it's like, let's face it, this is no big surprise.
Well, I've complained about it too.
I mean, I would not be happy about it if I were the Attorney General of Florida. I mean, you're 2 weeks out from an election. You have 30,000 people that are questionable, at least according to a paper. You say it's only a few thousand, but that's not insignificant in a state where two candidates were separated by 537 votes in the year 2000. And you say that it's under investigation, but it's not widespread. 537 votes is not much, but it creates a big problem.
Well, first of all, Greta, I would like to say to you that it's not right for anybody to be denied the right to vote who's eligible, and it's also not right for anybody to take away my rights by having somebody vote that isn't eligible to vote because they're a convicted felon or illegal immigrant or anything else. So I am concerned, and I've expressed those concerns, and I've expressed them publicly, including in a cabinet meeting in our Florida cabinet system as recently as last week to the Secretary of State to his face. We have a system that is under his jurisdiction, not mine, in which he's supposed to go through a process to clear all of these things, and frankly, he has
done that?